Yo, what is poppin' YouTube? It's Suddy back with another video, and I know it's been a long time since I've last uploaded, but I've been non-stop working with UConn. We actually have a bowl game coming up soon, depending on when this video goes out, but I want to get back on track. I have a brand new MacBook Pro, so it's a little bit easier to record videos. No face cam, but I'm sure you're not complaining. And so today I kind of just wanted to talk about how to set up your Photoshop documents properly. And I've collabed with quite a few people on Instagram, and I've noticed a lot of people, I don't know if wrong is the correct term, but not efficient, and will end up causing you a lot of problems in the future. So I like to design in 3250 by 4050. I believe that's the max Instagram lets you design in. I prefer 4x5. You just have more space, looks a little bit better than a square. So that's what I do. 300 pixels per inch, and then create. And so basically from here, the type of stuff that I want to go over is the fact that I use File, Place Embedded. A lot of people will go to File, Open, and it'll open it in a new tab. Let me show you. A lot of people go like File, Open. Let's just use, let me find a picture that I can use. Here, go File, Open, and see how it opens it in a separate tab from where you are. And a lot of people will copy this and then bring it in, which there's no problem with that. But the thing is, if you bring it in separately, you're gonna have to go right click on the layer and convert to Smart Object. And this is kind of one of the things that I've noticed a lot of people that I collab with don't do. They don't make it a smart object, which is pretty dumb because it doesn't really hurt. It maybe increases the file size a little bit, but at the end of the day, you can go back and make changes if you do something incorrectly, which I do, all of us do. I mean, I've been designing for 8 years and I still make so many stupid mistakes. So I highly suggest you doing using a smart objects. However, what I do is I do File, Place Embedded. And pretty much all that is, it's the same thing as open and bringing it in. It just saves you one step. It brings it in, and it's already a smart object, and it puts it on the document you're currently working on. So it saves like 2 steps anyway, and now you have your smart object. And so you need to make sure you do a smart object first. For example, like let's cut him out. Also, Photoshop has this new option when you go to select subject, device, or cloud. Use the cloud. It takes like a few seconds longer, but it does a much better job masking out than device. So we'll do this. Find the hair. Messed up his face a little bit there, but that's all right. And then we'll mask. So now you're able to, have a mask and the smart object. A lot of people end up rasterizing the layer, making the mask, and then applying the mask, so you can't go back and change the mask, which if you're trying to work with somebody is very frustrating, which I've had happen to me. So you don't want to do that. And so for example, let's go to camera raw filter now. We're going to do some player retouch. I'm just going to do something quick here because I already have a tutorial on player retouch. Just kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's go here. So now you have a little tab underneath your layer where it says Smart Filters. And so if you double click, you can go back and change what you just did. So let's say, I made the skin tone too red. Now you can go back and change it. Whereas if you rasterize that layer, you wouldn't be able to go back, and that would be a permanent change. So that kind of really affects the way you're able to go forward with your designs, because a lot of times if you make a mistake, you have to completely redo everything, rather than if you just had a smart object, you can easily just go back and change it. And this goes for a lot of things, not just camera raw. If you go to filter blur, Gaussian blur, let's just put 200, and so now you can go back and you can change it. So now, maybe we want to bring the down a little bit, and this again is just, it makes things so much easier, and you're able to go back and change things. And the smart objects are so underrated. And so now let me show you kind of how they work a little more in depth, because some people don't realize that you can do this with them. So let's just put a hue and saturation layer on them. All right, let's just make them black and white. Let's put a brightness and contrast, I guess. Let's bring up the contrast all the way. So now if you press on the first layer, hold shift, press on the last layer to get them all. And then instead of just, well, you could do this. You could group them by doing Control or Command G, and then you have to click Convert to Smart Object. So a lot of people think that once you do this and make a group and you merge it, that you're kind of screwed. But if you double click on the thumbnail, it opens up another tab, but it has everything that you still had in the from the previous, before you merged it. And this is huge because basically you're turning, sometimes I get like, I'll have 7, 8 adjustment layers on something, and you're not going to want all that. And you could just group it, but you're still going to have to search through everything. So just to kind of simplify your document, I highly suggest making your groups smart objects once like you think you're done, because again, if you ever need to go back and change things, you can just go here, it'll open a new tab. And let's get rid of the hue and saturation layer, and it's still the same because you need to save it. So Control or Command S, and you go back, and now it reverts back. So you're basically able to it opens the exact same document, and you just have to make sure you save it so it makes the changes over here as well. And that is pretty much what I wanted to go over here today, just because it'll speed up the process of your designing, and it'll honestly probably make your designing better just because of the fact that you can go back and change things, rather than a lot of times people rasterize. Rasterizing is not needed a lot of the time, to be honest. In my sports designing daily life, there's not many times where I'm rasterizing, because smart objects are just the way to go. Sorry, I'm a little sick if you're hearing my sniffle. I'm just going to show you real quick you can also do text, convert to smart object. Now a lot of people think, oh, I'm screwed, I made it a smart object, so now I can't edit the text because it doesn't recognize it as a text layer anymore. Same thing, just double click on the thumbnail, and now you can go back and change the text from there. Just make sure you press Command C, and there you go. So this is helpful if you want to put different effects on it, and then but end up wanting to change it. I know a lot of times I'll make a spelling mistake, so then I can easily go back and change it in the second tab rather than having that first tab. So here, like, I saved it there before I left, and now it's black and white again, and it's just very useful. Again, these are probably like the very basics. It's not an exciting video, but I've noticed a lot of people, especially the younger ones, the people who are new to Photoshop, don't really know this type of stuff, and using smart objects is going to be key. And going File, Place Embedded, make sure you do not forget to make it a smart object, because I've had people, I'd always tell them, make it a smart object, make everything a smart object before you touch it, and they're like, oh, I forgot, sorry. Just go File, Place Embedded, and it automatically puts whatever you have in as a smart object, as you can see. And also the thing with smart objects is you can bring anything down in size, and actually I'll just make it really small, press enter, and then bring it up again, and it will retain the quality you had, whereas we will rasterize this just for show. If you rasterize it, make it really small, and then enter, and then you try making it big again, look at the quality difference. The quality's been destroyed. Yeah, so smart objects are super useful. They're game changers, honestly, if you remember to use them. Highly suggest you do. Really helps in your efficiency and, you know, the speed you're able to design in, because not only, especially with my position at UConn, you're not going to have days or hours to work on every single design. So sometimes you're going to need to spit out a design in 30-40 minutes, and something with like smart objects will save you a lot of time. If you make any little mistakes, you can just quickly go back and edit it, and that'll be that, and it'll save you so much time. Thank you guys for watching. Just wanted to show you guys some quick smart objects and how Place Embedded works to just speed up your design process and all of that. But let me know if you guys want to see anything Yukon Football related, maybe day in the life, etc. Leave it in the comments and I'll be down to do that. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.